We have here 3 amphibious creatures. Tom, Eric, and Mr. Turtle. All right, Tom's going to try to be as amphibious as this guy here.
Welcome to Outdoor Adventure Magazine.
Up top, man, you're sitting there, it's a combination of fear, anxiety. You're not really sure what's going to happen because there's no clue. You can't even see where you're about to go. And then it's paddle off, 30-foot drop, boom, bam, hitting off the rocks. You don't even have time to think. Boom, 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 bam, underwater, bounce off a rock, you roll up, you're still in one piece, and it's like, woo! And it's relatively safe. Well, whatever. Anyway, it's fun.
Well, welcome back to Outdoor Adventure Magazine. How do you like my skirt? Well, we're in the Potomac River, and I'm with Olympic kayaker Eric Jackson. We're going to learn about kayaking. At least I'm going to try to learn how to do the Eskimo roll. I'm going to go over some falls, and we're actually going to go down and shoot little falls on the Potomac River. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'd like to go over some of the basic parts that a kayaker needs, some equipment that you need to have when you go down the river. First and foremost is the helmet. I'm going to spend more time under the boat than Eric, obviously, so I want to make sure I don't hit my head on any rocks. Also, a good life jacket is a must. We've got a paddler's jacket here to help keep us dry, and my skirt. This skirt actually goes around the top of the kayak to help seal water out. You know, kayaking is the sport that gets you as close to the river as possible. You're right down there on eye level with the top of the water, moving through the rapids. I'm going to try to learn to do it just about this much as good as Eric can. Let's go to Adventure School in Virginia to meet up with Eric and learn about kayaking.
All right, our philosophy on adventure schools is we want to get as many people introduced to this sport as possible. We take them out on the Potomac River here in Virginia. 15 minutes on safety, get over all the safety things out of the way, and then our objective is to have as much fun as possible in a 4-hour period of time. We take, start you out on flat water for an hour, spend an hour working all the basic strokes, how to paddle your boat. Then we head up, and we've got a 10-foot waterfall to get the adrenaline flowing. We want a little adrenaline in the system before we head out in the whitewater. That gets everyone pumped. And from there, we head out to the river, and that's class 2-3 whitewater, which is challenging. For me, kayaking is my life. I've been kayaking for 23 years, and I kayak twice a day, almost every day. I'm in the water almost 500 times a year. My father once told me I should find what I really like to do and try to do that for a job, make money at it. And I picked kayaking. Nobody in the world really makes money from kayaking, or very few people. So he wasn't really happy that I picked that particular thing, but since it's my favorite thing in the world, I took his advice to heart, and that's what I've done now. I've got a kayaking school, and it's paying the bills, and I race and train full-time, and it's what I do. It's what I like to do more than anything in the world.
You'll never see Eric Jackson without a smile on his face, and that's one of the reasons I really enjoy boating with him. If I'm out there and I'm running whitewater, doing extreme kayaking, there's probably nobody in the world I'd rather be with than Eric Jackson. I feel really safe paddling with him. If you're pinned, he's right there.
The Eskimo roll, one of these deals, you're upside down, right? You got to get right side up. The paddle's where you get your force to get your body out of the water. This is your boat, this is your body. First thing you got to do is roll the boat right side up with what's called a hip snap. The body then can follow right side up. The two things you got to be able to do is get your paddle set up in the right position, keep your head down, and roll your hips all at the same time. So it's actually 3 things. So it's one of these. All right? So the procedure is save the boat, then save your body. If you try to save your body first, it doesn't work. We'll be right back with some more Adventure Magazine. Later. The Eric Jackson patented, trademark, you can roll in 15 minutes or less or your money back plan. We go from one step to the next very quickly, and I kind of lead you through. And at the end, you can roll. You can go from upside down to right side up. All right, phase 2, same exact thing. You're doing the hip snap. But instead of putting your arm on my boat, you're going to put your arm on your paddle. Instead of putting your head on your boat, you're going to put your head in your bicep. All right, now the key here, the paddle needs to be perpendicular to your boat at all times. Don't get it way behind you or you'll flop in the water. Nice. In phase 3, you're tipping over like this, all set up and ready to go. When you're in the river, bombing down the river, that doesn't happen. You're falling over before you know what happened, right? So you need to have a home base, an easy way to set up for the roll. The easiest way is to go over to the side like this. So when you're upside down, your paddle's all the way out of the water. And then from there, you go right to phase 3. You just caulk up to here, and then you're in phase 3 and you're ready to roll. Bam, that's it. Woo-hoo! Yeah, man! Yeah! Awesome. Now, the water. In 1989, I made the U.S. team for the first time, and that was like, it was just like everything we do with your boat. It was like a prophecy. You know, I wanted to do that. I tried to do that. People had confidence I could do that, but I was never sure. I mean, how do you know if you can make the Olympic team or whatever? There's no way to know. But you went and tried it. And once it happened, you're hooked. Then in 1992 was my first Olympics, and it was like the ultimate thing. I can just remember, and Mark Spitz won those 7 gold medals. I competed in the Olympics. I was 13th. I didn't win any gold medals, but then it was like 1996, only 4 years away. But I'll tell you, the journey is worthwhile, whether or not I win the gold medal in 96. This is definitely the way to go.
Well, there's no question that I spent more time under the boat than on top of it. I'm going to need a lot more practice to get as good as Eric. He's one of the best kayakers in the world. But if you ever want to learn how to kayak, his adventure schools is the way to go. I had a lot of confidence running these rapids, knowing that one of the best in the world is right there by my side. You sure can't beat that. Well, that does it for another edition of Outdoor Adventure Magazine. I'm Tom Miranda, and I'm reminding you that hunters, fishermen, and yes, even Olympic kayakers are conservationists. So protect your environment. Look for me here again next Saturday, right here on ESPN for... what? For Outdoor Adventure Magazine. Help us in welcoming...